Hi, everybody. I'm Chris. I'm one of the co-founders, president, and the technical guy behind Keto Chow. If you're brand new to Keto Chow, it's a nutritionally complete meal designed to make doing keto super easy. We also have some electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon so when I go live all by myself, you'll get notified and you'll get updated on all the Keto Chow happenings. Thanks for joining us on our keto journey. Yeah, no Miriam at all. I actually put in the title of this live stream that Miriam was still not feeling well, and so she won't be here today. So yeah, Storm Chasing Gal says, we want Miriam, we want Miriam. Boy, I hear ya. Anyway, hi Carrie. Hi Visual Keto. Maria's here as well. Let's see, Linda says good morning. Lori is here. Lynette says good morning. Tia says good morning, friends. Lady Frustrator says I look different. I'm missing something. I am. I've been missing Miriam for almost a week now. I mean, she's been at home, but we had a neighborhood Christmas party that Miriam and I were in charge of, and she wasn't there. So, which was a problem because it turns out when you're doing something like this, and we had a whole committee that was helping out, you need someone whose job is just to supervise. Like, all they're doing is telling people what to do, and they're not doing anything themselves. And I guess I had never in my life realized that when something is going on complex like this, you literally have to have someone who that's all they do. Because I was running around doing stuff, and so nobody was supervising. And so everyone was like, hey, I need a decision on this. What should I do? And I'm like, I don't care, leave me alone. Anyway, it all turned out good, but it was done. And I'm so happy it's done. But yeah, I'm missing Miriam. She's on the mend, mostly just in cleanup phase now. So she sounds amazing. I keep joking, I'm thinking about getting some of those boots that you can hook onto a door frame and hang yourself upside down. That would get her going a lot better. Anyway, Kendra is here, so is Susan B. Carrie says, hope Miriam feels better soon. Me too. Flyward Keto is here. Happy Monday. My Peppermint Keto Chow order is out for delivery today. Speaking of peppermint, number A, chocolate malt, is sold out. Number B, Maple Waffle is also sold out. And the number C, the Peppermint Keto Chow is down to not very much. Let's go on the site and look at what's at right now. Try Peppermint, sure. Yeah, it's getting pretty low. Down to what percentage now? 18.5. Z. That is not a lot. So it's getting close. My GGB is here. Joe says, all by myself. Yep. Reese says, hope Miriam feels better soon. My hubby is just getting over bronchitis. I think Miriam actually had pneumonia, if my understanding of pneumonia is correct, is with the fluid in the lungs and all of that sort of stuff. Shauna, thank you. Let's see. Oh, by the way, Miriam did take a COVID test, and she was negative. So, GGB says, you need a supervisor. Everyone else has tunnel vision on their task. Yes, exactly. And it's so funny. I'm how old, and I never realized how important having someone to just be a supervisor was until the person who was playing that role wasn't there. It's kind of wild. So yeah, Jujubee is, Peppermint is not out just yet. Rhonda says, thanks for the Christmas card. That was so cute. You're welcome. Tracy is listening while you work. Do. Come at me, Disney. I can sing this song. That's just fine. Yeah. Sprelly says, good morning, all. Let's see. Joe says, I get that. I used to do some project where two techie guys, including myself, needed someone everyone could go to. We did not deal well with trying to do work and be constantly bugged with questions. Yeah, you can't get work done if all you're doing is telling people what to do, which I honestly have a problem with telling fully grown adults what to do. I think they should just be able to see what needs to be done and do it. The thing is that a lot of times they can't see what needs to be done, and so you have to help them understand what needs to be done, especially when they want to help. Fortunately for me, even though Miriam wasn't there, she got a hold of a bunch of the ladies in our neighborhood and said, hey, can you just go in the kitchen and put together salads? Can you just go into the kitchen and throw together the mashed potatoes and stuff? And we actually had a pretty good system going with those trays that you put the fuel underneath, the sterno cans, and they're called chafing dishes. You fill them up with water and you're able to put the serving things in there. Works extremely well. But if you've never used one of those before, you don't know how they go together. And so a lot of it was me having to teach some people how to do that. Meanwhile, we were slicing up a lot of meat. The meat, by the way, went fantastic. Our Sam's Club had full pork loins for like, I think it was $1.80 a pound, which is nuts, but you have to buy a case. And so we bought 80 pounds of pork loin. We bought, I think it was like 15 pounds of bacon. We wrapped them up, pinned them with toothpicks. Thank you, Dennis, by the way. And it was good. The meat was the best part. And I had 3 other guys, including me, who smoked the pork. And a lot of people, because it comes out kind of pink, because that's what, well, it actually adds pink to the meat from smoking. A couple of people were like, is this cooked all the way? Yes. Yes, it is cooked all the way. Are you sure? Yes, it's supposed to look like that. Try it. And they're like, oh, wow, this is actually really good, because we had done it to a bit of a medium, rare medium. It was fantastic. Let's see, Rhonda says, I got a bunch of chocolate malt and peppermint before you ran out. Nice. GGB thinks they had pneumonia, plus a ruptured eardrum. It's fine. Everything's fine. Our daughter Ruth, actually, I think she got a ruptured eardrum because the side of her head has been leaking all weekend long. She actually had me tape a gauze pad to the side of her head today so that she wouldn't have stuff running down her chin. She says, like, it doesn't hurt, it's just leaky. So we're just a hot mess at my house this weekend. Yes, Sean, I do have a new appreciation for my lovely wife. So I'm chasing gal wants to know, do we have snow? It snowed here on Friday, but it all melted. This is actually a video from last year. So Andrew says, thank you for the Christmas card. I'll be honest, I ordered a huge amount of peppermint and chocolate malt. All right. So I'm chasing gal loves chocolate malt. And it's interesting. I spend a lot of time this weekend looking at the Facebook support group and different posts. And there are some people who are like, yo, the chocolate malt, I'm not feeling it. And other people are like, you're crazy, it's amazing. And other people are like, I don't like the peppermint. And other people are like, you're crazy, it's amazing. We all have different tastes, and that's fine. So, let's see, Joe says, the Postal Service says, Keto Chow order will arrive today, but doubtful since it hasn't hit the local post office yet. Maybe tomorrow, maybe. Storm Chasing Gal wants to know if Maple Waffle will be back in big bags next year. I honestly don't know. We'll have to look at that, make that determination sometime next summer. Let's see. Jujubee says, we were all raised by different parents. If someone asks, how can I help? I always have a mental list. Can you do this, or that, please? Might seem like petty task, but needs to be done. Yeah, I have a hard time telling fully grown adults what to do. It's such an impediment for me. Anyway, Gina is here. Great to see me this morning, yeah. I hope Miriam is feeling better as well. And she has been taking care of herself. She spent the majority of the weekend watching Hallmark movies, which I spent a good part of the weekend when I wasn't running around crazy. So Saturday was nice because all of it was done. But yeah, they were watching Hallmark movies and I was putting together my Voron printer with Sam. Meanwhile, I was making snide comments about the Hallmark movies they were watching. Wow, she's a big city girl who's gone back to her hometown, and she meets the super hot guy whose wife died, because he couldn't be divorced because that would mean he's damaged goods. But no, his wife died. Anyway, Holderness family did a great job on every Hallmark movie ever. Let's see. Andrew, oh yeah. We read that. B Plaza says, can you please make core for us, carnivore, please? I don't know what you mean. Core won't be carnivore because it has, well, number one, it has sweeteners in it, or not. But the flavorings in it wouldn't be carnivore, and the acacia gum wouldn't be carnivore either. But we do have the strawberry cream, the vanilla cream, and the chocolate available in core. We're not adding any new flavors to core anytime soon at all. Just based on the sales, the chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry are doing okay, but in all likelihood, we won't be adding any new flavors just because they don't sell as well as some of the other ones. Now, fun fact, the beef soup-based Keto Chow is core without flavor. Like, it's literally the same thing. So you can add flavors to it. You could add a cherry syrup, or I don't know, you can mix it into your coffee, whatever. But yeah, the beef soup base is just the core without any flavor or sweetener added. Let's see, Norm says, I used to tell my kids, see a need, fill a need. They got it. Got it, and as adults, they're on to it. Yes. Yeah, and GGB says, smoked meat properly has a pink hue no matter what meat it is. That is true. And it's pretty readily apparent on something as light colored as pork. It's pretty funny. Kathy says, what's everybody's favorite way to consume the peppermint Keto Chow? Got mine Saturday. I like to mix it up and have it as a shake. As a creamy, it does the mint flavor, any of the flavors that you freeze, the flavor is muted by the coldness, and so it doesn't come through as strongly. So it's, for me, it's kind of meh as in the creamy, but that's why Miriam has been crushing up those ice chips and adding those to her Ninja Creamy. Nick says the leaky ear thing happened to me when I had pneumonia too. Yeah, it's brutal. SD Bradley says chocolate malt is probably my favorite. Michelle and I are on vacation now, so we have to wait to try peppermint. Awesome. GB says I had a ruptured eardrum 9 times. Wow, I'm well versed. Yeah, that's a rupture. The pain stops after the rupture. If it's still oozing in a week, call the doctor. It may not be healing. Do not get water in it. Yeah, she's avoiding water. I think she just doesn't want to take a shower. I don't know. Taking a shower, I think, is fine, but she's not going swimming with it. Sean says they need a support group for storing Keto Chow singles. There you go. Mike says some people don't like chocolate. Crazy people. It's true. Some people don't like it. Lady Fritz really likes the Maple Waffle, and Shauna thinks limited edition flavors should be just renamed FOMO. The thing is, a lot of people don't know what the acronym FOMO, fear of missing out, means. And until you learn what it means, you're just like, I have no idea what that means. So it'd be disadvantageous of us to name it FOMO. GGB says that peppermint could have handled more peppermint. Yeah, but peppermint extract will fix anyone who thinks it's not peppermint enough. Yeah, that's true. And then we kind of erred on the side of making it pepperminty enough that it had a good amount of flavor without making it toothpaste flavor. So, which a lot of people criticize the chocolate mint, saying that it tastes too pepperminty. But Teresa says I made coffee creamer out of the chocolate Keto Chow using 2KK's recipe. So good. Nice. Yeah, and GGB says, yeah, in the words of Emerald Lagasse, you can always add more. It's very difficult to take away. That is very true. Looks like Carol is here. Hi, Carol. Let's see, Gina says, I'm excited to get my peppermint fudge and cookies and creamy goodness, plus I'm combining peppermint and chocolate malt as a shake. Wow, I don't know how that would go together. That's an interesting combination. Yeah, I'm not sure. Lynette likes the peppermint fudge, and Sharon's getting a surprise subscription today. Nice. Mike says I buy the sweetened core, but I would buy the unsweetened if those did not exist. There you go. Let's see. And Jujubee likes the ice chips. Yeah, it's a good way to do it. S. Bradley's going to make peppermint butter bites. Storm Chasing Gal wants to know how's the supply of peppermint going. So I showed that earlier. In fact, I think I still have it up. So here it is, and that equates to 18.59% is where we're at with a peppermint. Looks like Lynette put up the recipe she used for the fudge. Juby says, any liquid in the hole? Yeah, even if it's still open and the oozing sounds like it is, can cause permanent hearing loss. Been there, done that. I actually asked Ruth, I'm like, did you try sleeping with that down so that it would drain out more? And she said, yeah. Well, I don't like putting pressure on it, so I kind of like propped up here. Anyway, she's got it under control. She's 18 now. She's an adult. Sean says, I'm the weird one who doesn't care for chocolate, but I like to use it on recipes. Nice. Tracy says, I work at a law firm, and we get lots of cookies and wine gifts during the holiday season. So I'm currently stuffing my face with chocolate core protein pudding. That's funny that you guys are getting a lot of gifts. So the vendor-client relationship, my understanding was always that the people who get paid are the ones that typically send out Christmas cards and stuff like that. So I would think that the law firm would be sending them out, but I wouldn't think that a lot of people would be, unless you have client or vendors that are sending them to you. Anyway, stuffing your face with chocolate core pudding, that's a good way to do it. Sean says, I love the flavor levels of Keto Chow because I love doing my own combos and adding different flavors. Nice. Let's see, Risa had peppermint fudge yesterday. So good. Would it freeze? Oh, yes. It would freeze very well. As far as lasting refrigerated, because there isn't very much water in it, I would think the water activity level would be low enough that it would probably last like a week or two. But if you freeze it, it should last indefinitely, which is what I would do, because then you could get out one piece and you wouldn't eat the whole thing. Because I don't know about you, but for me, 1 is too many and 10 is not enough, is how I tend to be with stuff. So I have to be very disciplined. Let's see, Hollis says, good morning everyone from Hot Springs National Park in Arkansas. Wow, I didn't know that that was a thing. Chai latte is my favorite, 1 each morning, warm, nice. Tracy says, oh, we get gifts from both vendors and other law firms. Other law firms, do you guys like cross-pollinate? You're sending stuff to each other? That's really interesting. Okay, and Gigi says, you don't want to sleep on that side, actually. The pressure hinders healing. So she's totally on it. Yeah, sounds counterproductive, but it's true. I'll stop my ENT talk now. I have 40 years and 10 ruptures and 6 surgeries? Wow. So yeah, see, I would have thought, apparently incorrectly, that you would want to drain it on that side, but yeah, she hasn't been sleeping like that, and I guess you're right. There you go. Brenda says, I plan to make chocolate malt fudge and taffy for the grandkids next week. Nice. Well, this is my sister still sends me fantasy brownies for Christmas, even though I tell her not to. I regift them or take them to work. We actually have a work Christmas party this weekend, and apparently I need to come up with a white elephant gift. So I should figure out what to do with that, because that would be something good to give away as a white elephant gift, right? Neely is here. Hi there. John says, I'm wondering about gift ideas for someone who does a lot of fasting. How much salt should they be consuming? Magnesium drops every day. What about fasting drops? Good question. That actually came up at a different Christmas party this weekend. One of my good friends he's doing a 5-day fast starting, actually I think today was his first day, or maybe yesterday was. And we were talking about salt requirements. He has some of the Keto Chow fasting drops, which work extremely well because You need a lot of salt when you're fasting, or else you're going to feel pretty low. The Keto Chow fasting drops, if you're getting a lot of them, are going to have a good amount of magnesium and potassium just along with them, because you mostly need salt and you need a little bit of the other ones. And the problem is if you don't get enough salt, then you will end up dumping some of the potassium and magnesium in order to save salt. Your kidneys will. Anyway, I was talking years ago with someone who worked for the fasting method, Dr. Jason Fung's team, and they were recommending somewhere between 5,000 to 6,000 or 5 to 6 grams of salt a day as kind of a minimum. If you have one of those real salt tiny pocket shakers, that's 6 grams of salt. Or another way to look at it is if you, I don't have one over here. If you have one of the tiny pocket flasks of fasting drops, it's about 1.5 of those a day is how much sodium you would probably want when you're doing an extended fast for and that's all you're using for salt. Now you could use some real salt or sea salt to get additional salt, and then maybe just use some of the Keto Chow electrolyte drops to get the the potassium up. But if you wanted to use just the fasting drops, it's 1.5 or so of those small pocket bottles per day for your entire salt needs. Let's see, Neely's making peppermint keto chow for breakfast. Nice. Let's see, Sean says, my crafty friends and our holiday party, I came home with too many cookies, which I gave to my niece and her boyfriend thanks for helping me decorate for Christmas. Nice. That is awesome. So I guess I need to come up with some white elephant gifts. It'll be interesting. And hopefully I think she's going to be feeling well probably by Tuesday or Wednesday. So she may not be here for our live stream tomorrow night, but I'm expecting she will be back here on next Monday. Speaking of next week, as a family, we sit down and go through our calendar for the coming week on Sunday. We briefly look at the following week, so kind of a 2-week look ahead. And then every night we look at our calendar for the following day, and every morning we look at our calendar for that day. So we look at everything 4 times, minimum. Next Tuesday, we will be canceling our Tuesday night live stream. So not tomorrow, but next Tuesday, because we have multiple choir and orchestra concerts at the same time. In fact, we'll have to sneak out of one to attend the other. So Tuesday, we're not going to be doing our live stream. Next Tuesday, which is the 19th. Anyway. Let's see, Blue Plaza says, I love Keto Chow electrolytes and the minerals. Nice. Risa says, I was thinking of making several flavors and giving fudge as a gift. Want to make ahead of Christmas and freezing until December 23rd. Yeah, freezing it would work really well. Sean says, white elephants tend to be hard to wrap. It's the trunk, yeah. And the kicking feet, you know? GGB says, I'm waiting on Amazon to deliver my Christmas tree lights. Apparently the lights with fading and blinking function are no longer sold in stores. Really? Oh, wow, that's interesting. Kathy says, I get a new water heater today. Takes half an hour to heat enough water for a 5-minute bath. Wonder about putting a sous vide in the tub. That's pretty funny. I'm sorry that you had to get a new one though. That sucks for the budget. Let's see. Rhonda's having peppermint keto chow for breakfast tomorrow. Nice. Kathy wants to know, why do they call it a white elephant gift? My understanding is that in India, if you were given a sacred elephant, which were usually a white color, by the king, you had to take care of it even though they don't do anything good. You couldn't use it as a pack animal. You couldn't use it for building stuff because they actually use them as like a crane. They have them pick stuff up and hand it up. But one of those elephants, you couldn't. And so it was something that you had to feed and house, and you got no use out of it. So it was a boondoggle, in other words. And so that's my understanding about the origin of, yeah, there you go. GGB has it about a historic practice of the king of Siam giving rare albino elephants to courtiers who had displeased him. So they would be ruined by the animal's upkeep costs. That's hilarious. Anyway, Mike says maybe we can invite a guest star to tomorrow's Tuesday live stream. Possibly. The problem is with Miriam not fully available, I'm a bit in keeping the kids alive mode at home. So a lot of stuff is, I'm letting the counter be dirty. I'm letting shoes be in the TV area. I'm letting a lot of stuff slide, and which is why doing the Christmas party myself was really terrible, because I felt like I was missing half of myself, and there was all this other stuff going on too. So as far as getting someone else to come on the show, nah, I don't have energy for that. I barely have energy to have the kids do the dishes. So anyway, well, I think I'm going to call it. Good 30-minute live stream here. Well, 26-minute, I can count. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining me. Again, I think tomorrow it'll be just me again, all by myself. But that'll be at 9:15 p.m. Eastern, or for you West Coast people, 6:15. So catch you all later. Bye.